Hey guys, so I want to do another installment in my SPI videos that I've been doing lately. This one's going to be a classic SPI skill called the Belayed Rappel. I've been doing this actually a couple of times very recently, and so it's gotten my mind thinking about it and I want to make a video of it. So in this situation, this is going to be sort of also out of the SPI manual. We're going to use one rope because oftentimes if you're working with one client, you only have one rope with you. And this is a way how to make a releasable system in case a part of their clothing or their hair gets caught in their belay device while they're going down. And also allows you to keep them on a belayed line, so that way if they mess something up or let go of the brake strand or whatever, you can catch them if something bad happens. So another thing to keep in mind with this system is both ends of your rope have to be free. So you see here I'm hooked in with a personal anchor system. This is like, you could do it with one end of your rope if you have a small enough climb, but it could be a little difficult. So let's get right into it. First thing we're going to choose is the end of the rope that is going to be our rappel rope for our client to rappel down on. In this case, I marked it with a stopper knot right here. But if the end of the rope touches the ground, you know, it's not like you really need a stopper knot. It's already a closed system. But either way, so I'm going to throw this amount of rope down. Here at this particular crag, I can see when the rope is touching the ground, but if you have a longer pitch, or you aren't exactly, or you can't visualize the rope touching the ground, you can also just go to the middle of your rope, which I'll just keep feeding out my rope until I'm at the middle. Here we go. I clipped my middle off, so that way I didn't lose track of it. Now I can either take a locking carabiner, or lately I've been moving to the locking quick draw for this, and I can clip that into a shelf of my anchor or the master point or whatever. I'm at the middle of my rope. I'm going to clip the rope in and tie a Munter hitch. I'm going to make sure that Munter hitch is actually flipped in the load position because there's going to be load on this line. And then I'm going to immediately tie that off with a mule knot. And I keep everything nice and clean, close to the hitch. Sometimes I even tug on this rope a bit just to get everything all compacted and slid together. I can lock that that locker down, and then now this is going to be my rappel line. So I fixed my point in place. Number of times, depending on who's rappelling, I'll actually even preload the device also, just so that way all they have to do, if the client's coming in from an insecure stance, a lot of times all they have to do is clip this into their harness and then they're good to zip down. Next thing I'm going to do is find the other end of the rope. This end would have a client on it, and they would be tied in, and I have to secure them to my anchor on their belayed line. So now I'm going to take another locking carabiner, clip that into a different part of the anchor, put the rope in, and then tie another Munter hitch. Lock that carabiner, and this is my belay line. If I flip that over, so now as my climber starts rappelling down, I don't have a climber on this strand, but you can pretend, I'm just giving them a nice lax belay as they're rappelling down the rope. If anything happens and then they get their fingers stuck or their hair caught or whatever, it's pretty easy to deal with. I can suck up slack through my Munter hitch as needed. I can tie this off with another Munter hitch, and then I can go to this Munter hitch, release that, let a little bit of slack go out on their rappel line, so that way now they're sitting tight on the belay line and they can get their shirt or their finger or whatever, their hair, unstuck from their belay device. And once that happens, then I can easily just retie this one off and then start belaying them up again start belaying them down again off of this Munter hitch. There you go, and then they're going down again. So you guys can see how it's pretty much just a simple weight transfer system. But by doing this sort of setup, it gives me the most amount of options to deal with anything that might happen to my repeller while they're going down. So in this example, we're using a quad anchor, and I could have easily used another locker right here for this hitch instead of my locker draw. But recently when I've been doing this with like actual people, I realized it's kind of nice to have the separation of this Munter hitch from that Munter hitch, especially if you're using an anchor, a different anchor, like a pre-equalized anchor when these guys are sharing a master point, or even if I chose to make them share a master point here for whatever reason. Now you see having that separation of the two Munter hitches helps the rope slide through a little bit better on my belay strand. I've done it plenty of times with this being up here, and they do sort of bind together. So either I like having the locker draw on the lower rappel strand because they're just sitting on it and then going down. Whereas if I have this Munter hitch a bit further away from me, it allows me to pull more rope through and I can keep up with a faster repeller. But if you want to flip them around, then that's fine too. Just having that vertical separation is really nice. Okay guys, thanks a lot for watching my video. If you have any more requests for videos you want to see, then just leave a comment and then I'll see you guys in the next video.